Hey friends, it's Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019, and I thought I would go follow up with the video I made last night and posted, where I was dipping into this box where it's part of my archives. You other musicians and artists, do you keep an archive of your stuff, things that you've recorded? Besides, I showed you the stuff that's been commercially released. All that other stuff in the box is of interest, but it's like it's archives, you know, recordings from tapes and live stuff that I've put on CD and, you know, to preserve. I thought I would follow up since I'll explain, you know, why all this is rising to the surface. Thinking about my I'm going to use the word because it's correct now. Thinking about my career, as it were, in music, as a result of the upcoming induction into the Nebraska Hall of Fame. It's just it's caused me to, I've had to update my bio and my list of things and accomplishments, and so it just has me reviewing what I've done. And which leads to this, you know, kind of looking again at my recorded output as well as other things. And so let me show the other part of CDs. That was just the CDs that were, and I missed one too. I just showed the CDs that are like this in like little LP jackets. I'll show these now. And this is one I wasn't in the box, but I'm included on this Brett Harold Hart recording, Hard Dummies, with Cooper Deers, Leandro Kalin. I'm one of the friends. So I missed that wasn't in the box last night. I just found it today. So these aren't in any order, but my first, I can start at the beginning of my compact disc release history, which is the band Digital Sex. Interestingly, earlier I was trying to make this video, and then I got a message from the keyboardist, Maureen. She lives in Paris, and actually we were discussing some things about the band, but this is the first compact disc I was ever on, and it is the second compact disc to be released by a Nebraska artist that I can find, and the first rock band from Nebraska to release a compact disc. And this was at the beginning of compact discs being made. This came out in 1986, and I think compact disc went on the market in 84, am I correct, or something like that? Like I said, this was newsworthy when this came out. Sordide Sentimental, the label, is a collectible label that has put out some collectible things by Joy Division, Tuxedo Moon, Psychic TV. When they approached us, I got a letter. It's still in my archives. They approached us asking, they were impressed with our album, Essence, and said, would you like to be our first release on compact disc? You know. So it was newsworthy. MTV News, that's the first. Then it was reissued almost 10 years later in 94 in America by my good friend and a super fan of the band, Randy LeMasters. He put out a remastered and reconfigured version of it. This is called Essence and Charm, and this is Essence and Rarities, 1982-87. These you can still buy. Okay. Space Age Polymers. I contributed some music to this band that let me just show this stuff to you, okay? I won't try to describe everything. Full Metal Patty O Furniture, my friend Nils Erickson. This is one of his CDs where there's a variety of things on here, and I was in this band for a long time. Here is a compilation CD that includes a rare track by the band Four Against. You guys have heard of them, from Nebraska. And my band Flamethrower. We're one of the bonus tracks on this. A Situation in Situ. This is on the In Fact label out of Greece. It's a cassette release of my album Waystasis, but also includes a CD of it. And this is a limited edition. I'm showing it upside down. Limited edition, only 33 copies of this were made. And they're, of course, it's all sold out. When was this? 1995. Steve Stacy, my good friend. Steve Bluehorse is his name. If you follow me online on Facebook and you see the name Steve Bluehorse, that's who this is. Put this album out of basic Indian American music that he, using flutes that he makes. I wrote and gave him the title track. Is that right? I always forget these things. It's been so. I'd have to look. I gave him one of these tracks. Today's Warrior is the one I wrote. We had a band called Akita Mani Yo that was doing a kind of a world music thing. One of the first bands not one of the first, but again, it's one of the things I've done. Here is an interesting collaboration I did with a couple out of Germany, Kommissar Huler and Mama Bear, kind of Dada artists who are really on the their stuff is really edgy. A lot of it involves pornography. I forget how this collaboration came up together, but they approached me, and I'll show it from here because they only made 9 copies of this thing, IMF 019 plus 28, and I supply a musical soundtrack. It's a long piece on here, exclusive only to this, and each one of these has this is not a picture, this is it's a collage with it's a piece of it's 3D. It's a piece of art. So all of these are gone and sold. I managed to hang on to one. I tried to hang on to a couple. Interesting projects. Sound. That's my sound work, besides writing songs. And you can hear a lot of this stuff on Bandcamp. I'll endeavor to play something here before I'm gone. I'm going to go for a while. Scott Severin and the Milton Burlesque. Isn't that a cool band name? Scott Severin is a fellow who's originally from the East Coast, New York. Was involved in the scene at the Mud Club. If you have the book, he's in the book. There's pictures of him and talk of him. He was in the middle of it all, but he's a singer-songwriter, moved out here, still going. I'm on here. I'm one of the people that does hand claps. Icky Blossoms. You heard of this one? They had kind of a club hit, Babes. Isn't that it? I don't play on this. I helped to write the opening track, Heat Lightning, which they got licensed to Grey's Anatomy, that TV show. You might have heard it. I'm credited. I'm credited on here. So this is in my discography. Really proud of this. They came to me looking for some, looking for help songwriting, and I gave them a hook. I'm real proud of that. Sun Ambulance, someone else's Deja Vu. The band is still going. I was a fan of this band long before I was in it. This is the only recording I'm on that's been released so far. Trying to get something going here. I'm trying to get us moving on because Joe's got some new material. This is a recording that I play bass on with Kleeman from Denmark. Different. I do recommend this. I've tried to recommend this before. Brad Elvis, who plays drums for the Romantics and was in a band out of Illinois called Screams back in the day, plays drums on this, and it was a real treat to do session work with him in Chicago on this. I also toured. I did a couple of mini tours with Kleeman of the U.S. behind this music. Real learning experience. That's another one. Here's one that I did a limited edition of. How many copies? 20. DVH. More sound work. More sound work. But there's 20 of these out there in the world. Released in 2005. 2005. Atomic Breathing. I don't know why I think of Camper Van Beethoven, because they don't sound like that, but I'm on bass here. And this goes back to the 80s, and just, you know, really the beginnings of alternative music just becoming a thing internationally, and especially in Nebraska, it was like it was starting to bloom. Here's a sampler, Emigre sampler, which includes a digital effects track, courtesy of Steve Sheehan is on here. He was the lead singer of the band. Okay, and so that's what's on here. I'm playing bass on here, so that's what it is. The track on here I play bass on. We're on another sampler. I couldn't find it. Okay, I've spoken of this. This just came out last year. Dave Newhouse of the Muffins, and now Mana Mirage, Rest of the World. For me, this is just a real wonderful accomplishment to be included in this recording, playing bass on one track. The track I play on, Sean Rickman on drums. Dave Newhouse, just a wonderful musician and friend. Mana Mirage, Rest of the World. You can still get this. I think this is about to sell out, though. Okay. Okay. Coyote Bones. This is my connection to Adult Swim, actually. Dave Matesiak. This was his band. He's out of Atlanta, but he was here in Omaha for a while. Had a strong connection to Saddle Creek Records, The Faint, Tilly on the Wall, and those guys. I was hanging tough with those guys, which led to me, partially led to me joining Sun Ambulance and the band in Dreama. Coyote Bones. Everyone besides myself, there's people from The Faint on here, Azure Ray, Orenda Fink is on here. Now it's Overhead members, all kinds of people on here. Gentlemen on the Rocks, Coyote Bones. Look this up. This is really good. This is new. I was just talking about Walter Whitney, and then also Brett Harold Hart. Creepy Clown Ice Cream Truck. This is a brand new release that I'm on one track on this. This is all over the place, you know. Ambient, progressive, straight ahead rock. Very interesting. I'm happy to be working with these people. Tom Ware. He's the drummer of the band Scudder. You saw, oops. You saw me show a couple of copies of that CD from the box. I showed two because we had the two runs of it where we cleaned up the cover. This is one of Tom Ware's solo CDs called Out of Bounds. The track that I'm on also features guitarist Michael Lee Firkins. Once again, a name, someone that many of you know. He has quite a career and a reputation. He's really good. This is excellent. It's progressive and jazzy. Really good. Tom Ware, Out of Bounds. From last year, another, for me, happy and major accomplishment to be included on this wonderful album by Mark Stanley and Carla Deratz, Double Dreaming. Just released last year by them. Okay, let's play a little bit of this one, because this one was kind of one that's got things going for me, like I had been involved in music for a long time. This is Dereck number 2. My first solo CD is this, called Nice. The one that I still have a reconfigured vinyl version of. This was actually my first solo CD, where I basically went through my tapes of stuff I'd been recording at home and culled the best of what I thought was presentable, and had 300 of these made. Now, interesting, there's a story behind this, because I tried to do a distribution deal on this with, of all places, Borders Books, and they ended up losing. You know how Borders went under? They just lost everything. You know, I never got paid anything, and here's a little bit of this. Here I am playing real bass, real guitar, programmed drum machine. Now, I wrote this one actually for the band Akita Mani Yo, which was led by this man Stephen Stacy, with the idea of him playing this, and he did, on his flute. And here we have Bill Farber, a local musician, who guested on this album. It's also on here. It's on the vinyl. I've still got, again, mainly black. I've got a few yellow vinyls left of this. That's what this sounds like, okay? Plus several other things, other styles beside that. So let's keep going, okay? So, but what I was getting at was Dereck number 2, which I'll play some of. This one was the first one that I made an investment, had 1,000 copies of this made professionally, you know, with a barcode and everything, not a CDR. This was in 2004, and boosted by the experience of this, I decided I'm going to make one more shot in my own way of trying to be a music maker, to be in the game somehow. And that's when I made this. And that was in 2004, and I did the business at the time like you're supposed to. I sent it all over the place to get reviews. I got a couple of dealers, distributors. I got turned down by quite a few, but I got, I think, one. But this is on Bandcamp. This is the opening track. I still got a bunch of these, $10 a piece. I do. I've got probably still 100 copies out of 1,000 still to sell. The cover is paper that covers my grandma's Bible that she left to me. Began. Get this, people, this is good. This gets better. I worked hard on this. This was like, you know, Dereck #2. Get this. You're hearing it yourself right there. I got a couple more here. Flyover Country, my first film soundtrack. And besides my score, which is on here, there's tracks by all these other Nebraska bands, including Digital Leather, Mitch Getman, Tara Vaughn, The Scene, Lonely Estates. This was, I believe, this was the first gay-themed film to be made in Nebraska. And it's decent, you know. The filmmaker, Jim Fields, went on to make his second feature, which I also scored, Life After X, which is also about gay life, gay marriage. You put the two together, the brother is gay, you know. Really proud and happy to be involved, you know, with these projects. Quite an opportunity that he extended to me. He asked me to do it based on my reputation, because I didn't know the guy. And real learning experience. So Flyover Country, this is still available. And the last one that I can find, because I got more CDs and I'm not even showing you the vinyl, but I thought I'd do this. The World is Burning. And this is that one that Randy LeMasters, Randy's Alternative Music, just released last year. It's a best of via Randy's selection of his favorites of my basically a lot of home recordings that I've shared with him over the years that he absolutely loves. He includes the story in here of how which song, the last song on this album, Sunlight and Breeze, is the music that he and his wife chose to have playing in the hospital birthing room while she was having their son, who's now a teen, John. What an honor. Thank you for letting me share this with you folks. A lot of this music is available. It is, and you can listen to all of it. Okay.